It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Okay.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the Brock University head women's basketball coach, Mike Rao. How are you doing today?
Good, Brandon. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to get into college coaching?
Well, I didn't really know that I knew at a young age I wanted to get into college coaching. I never had the opportunity when I was young. I just got right into teaching. I had a teaching degree and I went into teaching, and I tried to pursue it a couple of times, but had a few interviews, but was never fortunate enough to get a position with any team.
What was it like to get the opportunity to coach for the Notre Dame College school?
Well, I knew the principal at the school, and when I got my degree, he had offered me a position with Norte Dame College school, and I took it immediately because it was in my hometown, and I was grateful for that opportunity. And when I went on, they asked me to. Well, I was always coaching basketball within the community, so I think that I had a foot in the door in that respect, because Notre Dame's well known for their basketball teams. So I had my foot in the door, and I immediately went into coaching right when I got there, and I never stopped throughout my career, and I'm grateful for that.
What was it like getting your first college opportunity to coach at your alma mater?
Well, actually, my first opportunity came when Charles Kissy brought me on board with the men's team a few years ago, and he gave me the opportunity to be his assistant coach, and I relished that for a few years, and it was just a tremendous opportunity. So I always looked at it. It is my alma mater, but I just looked at it as a basketball opportunity. And at that point, I was kind of out of high school sports, although I was still teaching for that year. I wasn't coaching. I was coaching girls soccer, to tell you the truth. And so I filled my time with that position.
What was that transition like from going from coaching girls soccer to obviously coaching girls basketball?
Yeah, I'm grateful for the opportunity. My first that was my first experience with girls sports, with women's sports, and the soccer taught me a lot, gave me a lot of patience, and it taught me that I really had to be a teacher of the game if I wanted to progress with the women's game. And my intention at the time was to continue with the girls soccer at Notre Dame. But things changed quickly. But that experience led me to the women's team. And again, I have to thank guys like Joe Kenny, Karen McAllister, Charles Kissy for that opportunity. I think they pushed me in that direction, and I was just the right person at the right time. But my experience with the young Notre Dame team in soccer helped me with this girls team at Brock University.
What was it like going to the playoffs for the first time since 2012?
To tell you the truth, to me, it wasn't any different because, I coached at Notre Dame, so we were always pretty successful. So I never, ever not thought of making the playoffs and not making a run at a title. So to me, it was like a foreign thought. I didn't know all that stuff until we won our first game, and then they told me all the hoopla. We haven't been here since this, and we won our game, and we did everything. And so it was kind of new to me. It was exciting for them and for the community and for the Brock Badgers women followers and the players. But to me, it was like, I was expecting it, because that's my only experience, really.
What was it like getting the opportunity to coach the men's basketball team?
Well, that was good. I really enjoyed that. that time, I was an assistant coach. So assistants' responsibilities are a lot different than head coaching responsibilities. I had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the guys. Tyler Brown, Danny Elgadi, Care, Gosman, all those guys. I enjoyed them a lot. I really relished the moment because we were a good team. We went to the Nationals. We had a super record. Kissy was really diligent, and he did his homework and he worked hard, but his responsibilities were far greater than mine. So from that perspective, I had a great year. It was enjoyable. There was not a lot of pressure on me. There was not a lot of, I didn't have to do the work that I'm presently doing or was doing as a head coach. So I really like being an assistant, to tell you the truth.
How was the 2017-2018 season like for you?
Well, was that the year before we made the run?
Yes.
Yeah. That, I tell everybody that's kind of my favorite team. And they say, wow, you made this run with the silver medal team, which is right. But my first year there, I really enjoyed that team. Now, I think we came in fourth and won a playoff game. And then we went to MAC, and we almost knocked off the national champs at that point in their home gym. We came really close, but we gave them a heck of a fight. And that, in many respects, for me, our climb, in the women's game, or our progress in the women's game started there. It started with, I had a phenomenal group of girls. Tremendous, not the, like everybody said, not the most talented, but the hardest working and the smartest girls you ever come across. And they worked so hard. We were undersized and we matched up. We were all, they were faster than us, yet we kept up with teams. That was just, for me, that was my favorite team. I really enjoyed them because they really listened. They worked hard. They bought in. I think we were 500, almost 500, probably a game under 500 at that time, but just a tremendous group of girls. So like when I go back and I look at, whenever my time's done, I look back on my time with the girls, with the women's program, it starts there. And, I remember I'll remember that team is always closest to my heart.
What are some of your accomplishments with the women's basketball team?
Well, I don't know, like my accomplishments. I think first and foremost, like if I were to self-diagnose or look back and report on how I, as a coach, did throughout that year. My greatest accomplishment was getting us better at the end of the year than we were at the beginning. Everybody brought in, we got better, and the results showed, but I think that's all. That's what I try and do. And so for me, when I kind of try and accomplish anything with the team, it's that, both individually and as a team. If we get better, then I've done my job. I don't know where that's going to end up in terms of wins and losses, or in terms of standings, or in terms of national rankings, or in terms of any of that. But when we've done that, we're, I think it's a successful year.
Who are some teams that you play in your conference, and what is a typical game day like?
Well, game days like today. Some of the teams, like we have, like tonight we got Guelph. So Guelph's a heck of a team. They beat us every year. So I don't know. Hopefully we can rearrange that. But Guelph is tough. We play McMaster's, like really, national champions a couple of years ago. Western was number one ranked for a long time. Windsor, 5-time national champion. So we play teams like that. Ryerson, we talk about Carleton, Ottawa. That's our schedule. It's a tough schedule. And, we prepare for everyone a little differently. A game day for us is, we'll have a shoot in the morning. We'll go over some of our probably defensive responsibilities and anything we're going to alter, things that we want to do offensively, and we just shoot. So it's about a 2-hour window there. And then the girls just go home, relax, have something to eat, and warm up at the game's at 6. So they're out on the court 4:45, and they're warming up, and then they shoot from 5:10, 5:15 till game time.
Can you talk about, of course, the culture that you have helped build at Brock?
Well, the culture is I never use the word culture because for me, it's an environment. Everybody uses culture, and I see it. And culture is such a broad term, and you can define it many ways. But I like to develop, an environment where players and coaches have respect for one another, and that pathway of communication can flow like freely. So like I don't want them to be afraid to ask me or tell me something, and I don't want to be afraid to relay some of my messages to them. Like, I think that open communication is necessary. Sometimes it's received well, sometimes it's not, but that open line of communication helps us get on the same page. So it's just trying to build a relationship with every one of your players. And it's very hard. It's very difficult. But that's what I try and do. So whatever that builds in terms of team atmosphere, then it builds. Every year is a little different, but I like to think that we have respect for each other. And I think from that we can advance forward. And I tell the girls all the time, don't get too high, don't get too low. You got to kind of be humble, man. This world is, it's full of the I'm in your face type of individuals, and that it's not necessary. It's just a game of basketball, and we're trying to do it the best we can. And sometimes you'll be on top, and sometimes you won't. So learn both. At the end of the day, there's only one champion. And there's so many teams. So yeah, like everybody kind of feels or has has a brush with defeat. So you have to learn how to take that.
What is the recruitment process like for prospective student athletes looking to go into college women's basketball?
Well, it's our recruitment it's got a little easier over the last couple of years, and mainly because of the success. But you still have to go out and find girls that want to play within your program and play the way you want them to play. And you have to find the right girls, and that's kind of hard. But the recruitment process is a difficult one. And you have to try and, like right now, the OSBA has got a smattering of real good players, but the majority of those players are looking to go down south. They want Division I scholarships. They want all the perks and all the glory and the limelight that NC2A brings up. And so that's kind of hard for us to compete with. We do offer FAs in terms of scholarships, and we do offer academic monies as well. Still it doesn't kind of meet the full ride, but for those that want a good education and want a pretty good experience with basketball, the OUA is probably, I would say, the best way to go in terms of meeting both those needs.
Of course, when the prospective student athlete comes on campus, what is the official visit look like for them?
Well, we show them the school, obviously. Like my first priority is, do we have the program? Can you get in the program? Do you, is this a program you want? So that's primary with us. Second, do you like the environment? Do you like where the school is set? Living arrangements, housing, the overall feel of the school, the diversity of the school. Is it diverse? Is it accommodating? Does it meet your needs? And then the third is kind of basketball. So the first two revolve around what's best for you, what's best for your family, and the third one is kind of basketball. So if all those components are good, and if they do their research, like I tell all my prospective players, like, you're coming abroad, but you're going to play for me. So you have to know a little bit about me. So you have to do your homework too. Am I the type of coach that is probably in your wheelhouse? Do I meet kind of your needs? Am I right for you? And then you have to answer that, because the last thing that we want is, to like, maybe I'm not the right coach for this individual, and that happens, or maybe it's not the right setting for that individual. So I tell my players, like, do a lot of searching, like do your homework and see if this is a right fit for you. Do I fit? Does the program fit? Does it suit your needs? And so if all those things fit, I think we get a heck of a player, because they're coming in, they want to step into this program, come in and play for kind of me and the school and everything else. They got their programs, everything set. And I think we can advance from that. When all those things are satisfied, then you can advance. But in the absence of that, it's very difficult.
Of course, on the official visit, do you let them try on the jersey to see if they feel at home in the jersey?
Well, no, I don't. No, I think that's something. Now, once they commit and everything fits, they put on the jersey. But no, not before. I'm not gonna. I don't want to. If they're coming here first, a T-shirt or a jersey, and if that's what motivates them, you come to the wrong place, because to play at Brock takes an exceptional student athlete. There's so much that goes into playing with what we do. There's a lot of time and effort. So rewards aren't the biggest thing. It's got to be, you got to be motivated, and you got to want to get better, and you got to want to play. So, like those things, if I have to sell you coming to the school, it generally doesn't work out for me.
Of course, what advice would you give prospective student athletes looking to play college women's basketball?
What
advice would you give prospective student athletes looking to play college women's basketball?
Well, if you're hell-bent on playing, I've seen the smallest and the tallest girls succeed. I've seen the tallest and the smallest girls fail. With me, it's the girls that want it the most, and I call it effort. No matter what your size, no matter where you're from, if you work at the game, you're going to get to where you want to get to. It might take you a little longer, but you'll get there, and a coach will notice. And in basketball, I look at one drill. I tell my girls all the time, if you can dribble the ball, and if that ball is second nature in your hand, if that ball's like an extension of your hand, there's nowhere on the court that's going to fail you, because you can get out of any situation anywhere on the court and not have an issue. And that, the majority of the time, is going to keep you on the floor. So in terms of skill, that's my biggest skill. That's what I look for the most. And a person that has that generally feels real comfortable on the court and can maneuver around any circumstance. But you have to be motivated. You got to, like, if your effort is there and you want to get to it, you can get to it. If you're not going to treat it like all that, well, if you say, well, I'll work today and maybe not tomorrow, or 15 minutes today, and that's enough for today, and think that you're working hard, you're not going to get there. It's not going to happen for you. And that's the only advice I can give you. It's constant. It's all the time. It's got to encompass your whole life. You know, you make time for things in between, but encompasses your total life for that period of time.
What advice would you give college coaches looking to get started in the industry of college coaching?
Oh my God. It's such a hard place to get to. I don't know if I have any, but those people that want to coach at this level, I think if you want to stay, you have to put in as much effort as anyone else. Like, I know at my age, like, I got the opportunity late. Trust me, I never thought I'd get the opportunity, but I got fortunate enough, and I did. But I tell you, the rest of my life stopped when I got this job. So I can't do a lot of things. I was an avid golfer up until I got the coaching job at Brock. Now I very rarely golf. And I used to go out 5-6 times a week. So those things kind of stop if you want to do well. And my day is like almost every day in the gym, in the office, with kids, working on the game. It's every day. So I don't know, for young kids wanting to get into it, if you want to sustain, that's kind of what you got to do. And I don't know, do I recommend it? I don't know. It's a tough life. Sometimes just getting a job is easier than coaching, for sure. You know,
that's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media, along with the Brock University women's basketball program at?
Where? Okay, I didn't understand the question. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Where can my listeners find you at on social media, along with the program at?
Okay. Well, although I don't manage all those accounts, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, and I do a little bit of Facebook. I know I'm old, but that's why I do Facebook. None of these young kids do. But we're at Brock Women's Basketball on Twitter and Instagram, and you can see all the highlights of the game. But if you go to OUA TV or you go to Brock TV, you can catch us streamed and follow us if you're thinking about coming to Brock.
Thank you again, Coach Mike, for your interview, and best of luck in your future as you get prepared for this upcoming year at Brock University.
I appreciate it, Brandon. All the best of luck to you, and thank you for having me on.
Thank you. You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach Mike, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
No worries. Thank you, Brandon. Have a good day.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.